Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So I'm really hoping this is going to be a really cool video, fingers crossed. So this is my 2020 TT01 Type E chassis which I've just built, and obviously it's the gorgeous Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR car. Absolutely stunning. The shell's the shell is the whole reason why I bought this. So the idea behind this is I'm going non-box art. If you follow us, you'll know that we did the the Porsche 911 GT1 street car, and we put the Rothmans Porsche 959 decals on that. Absolutely superb, one of the best looking cars I've ever done. So because I did that, I wanted to try another, not Rothmans. So I'm not going to give too much away. I'm not going to tell you everything that I'm planning to do. We'll just do it and see if it works. But this is going to be another cigarette branded race car. A very big cigarette brand from back in the day. So yeah, this car, the CLK GTR, has never had this sponsorship. So the lines, the masking lines I'm going to have to put on it are all going to be kind of a suck it and see kind of thing. We've got three colours. There's on the outside it's going to be two colours, and then it's going to be backed by the third colour. I've had some decals from MCI. I've got them now, and I'll show you those later as we go. But I had those scaled up slightly. He did a standard sheet of the sponsorship decals, but I can't remember what I did. I think I added 25% in size to them, because I want them a little bit longer on the sides and on the wing. Anyway, I'll show you all that later. And the wheels are going to probably change. I don't know. This is going to be one of those long-winded videos like the Porsche, where it's just trial and error to see what looks good, what doesn't. These wheels may be used. The sticking point I've got with the wheels is I think the wheels are either going to be black or they're going to be white. Now I am sort of penciling in to take the wheels off my 911 GT2, because those are the two-piece chrome wheels, because I kind of think, because of how the lines are going to be, the white wheels may just suit it with the chrome outers. But we've also got a set of these wheels in black already, but I don't know what the offsets are. And again, with a car like this, the wheels have to look absolutely superb, and they have to have as much detail on as possible. And when this is finished, it has to look, it has to have the wow factor like my Porsche 911 GT1 has. So that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do now is I'll bring the camera over and I'll tell you roughly what kind of lines I'm going to use on this, and then we'll dig the masking tape out and we'll make a start on it. Okay, so how I envisage this working, the initial thing I'm going to do, I need to put some masking on the front. Now, the front is just going to be, let me move that car around, move that back so you can see. So the plan is, I need to centre a line across here and then down the middle, because I need a starting point in the middle, probably around about 10-12 mil away from the window, and I want to run some masking down either side there, but it has to go from the middle of that car all the way down to the bottom on both sides. Now obviously I've got some tricky lines, folds in the body to get round, so I have to make sure that that's going to mask correctly. So that's going to be one colour in the middle and then sprayed over with a second colour. Then I need to let's move this around, then I need to finish this here. So I need to figure out, and I really don't know how I'm going to do it, probably just need to get started, but I need a second masking line coming off round about here just after the wheel arch. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to run it a diagonal line or straight down a vertical line, not sure. May even go the other way, maybe come across here. In fact, there's a body line here which I may copy, bring it across and then copy that oh yeah, that works, copy that line down to there. So that's the front end. Back end a little bit similar. The majority of the back end is all one colour, so there's no one colour there. And then what I want to do for the separation line for the second colour, I'm probably going to bring it follow the masking tape following the rear window and bring it down. So whatever angle we choose on the front, whether it's straight or it goes diagonally, I have to copy it on the back. And again, so basically you're going to have, back end is going to be one colour, then the centre is going to be the second colour, and then the front's going to have both colours. That's the idea. Now, the only other thing I need to figure out is, do I want to mask this full air intake unit and possibly do it black to separate it? Because as I say, this centre section is going to be all one colour. And I just think if I mask all that and that's just black, but it's a big old lump of a unit, it stretches that far, and I don't want it to sort of to be too much black, if that makes sense. And then regarding the back end with the ABS parts, as the 959 I did, sorry, 911 GT1 I did, the lower plastic spoiler needs to be the same colour as the back end, so that's dead straightforward. The struts in the middle, they're going to be black, and then the main wing itself is going to be, the full wing will be one colour, and then the edges of the wing will be the other colour. That's the thinking there, which will look really cool. And depending how the masking goes, and what colour this roof strut is, I'm just trying to work it out. Yeah, that's going to be white, so the mirrors will be the opposite colour, so it really pops out. So enough whinging on. So do you know what it's going to be yet, guys? Just by that, what I've said. I bet some of you will do, knowing it's a cigarette brand, a very famous one from back in the day. Anyway, let's dig the masking tape out and make a start on it. Okay, so that's stage one. So I've taken all the ABS plastics off it, and I did forget about this bit. It has a front splitter on it in black, so I may as well start there. I've decided I'm not going to do the roof scoop in black. It'll stand out too much. So we'll get this bit of paint on, and then we can start masking the rest of it properly. Right, first bit of paint's on, so we'll let that harden before we take the masking off. Right, as I thought, this is absolutely no fun whatsoever to get these lines on. So what you're looking at there is it's masked off to paint this section here, this like arrow. I think I've got it as close as I can. It looks pretty decent. It's pretty difficult to see. And don't go by the window masks because they're slightly out, but they'll be covered obviously by the window surrounds. So it's more about these lines here. And again, there's some masking on the outside which can be a little bit deceiving. But yeah, I'm reasonably happy with that. From the front, this is not gonna, that front view is not gonna be its greatest angle because of these lines, and it's gonna look kind of lumpy, which I knew that, but from this angle it'll kind of flow a little bit better. So, wow. So as I say, I'm reasonably happy with that. What I've got to do, I'm going to go onto the back end now and do the same, which should be slightly easier, but I'm going to put the rest of the window masks in next, and then that, once that rear window mask is in, I think I'm going to bring the mask in, because basically the back end's all red, and then there's just going to be a masking line here, but I've probably got to keep the same angle as this, but I'm not too sure yet. I've looked at a lot of these logo race cars, and these don't always match. Sometimes the front's straight, angled, and sometimes the back's the same way, it just goes straight. So there's not a right and wrong way of doing it, which is good. It's probably just the best way I can get the masking to flow. So let's get these window masks in, and we'll get cracking on the back end. Right, that's the lines I've chosen for the back end, rightly or wrongly. As I say, I've looked at loads of different designs, and there's not one for this car, unfortunately, but you can't really go wrong. You can kind of make it up yourself. So as you can see, I've got the side window masks in and the rear, and then I've just followed the line from the back of the windscreen and down, and then I've chosen to come straight down at this side, because I don't know, I just think it'll look okay. So that's the lines done. So next up now is to mask all the white areas completely off. Right guys, we're at that point, squeaky bum time. Don't know about you guys, but I get to this stage and you overthink everything, and you've double checked all the masking, hoping it's down securely and that, and I get to a point where it's just like, bleh, whatever, stick the paint on and let's see what happens. So I've cleaned it, washed it, and I've just gone over it with some alcohol wipes. And that's pretty much it. I've got the paint warming up now. So the first colour we're using is PS34 Bright Red, which I was told to use instead of a standard red, because apparently when this is backed with white and then silver, it really shines, so we will see. So as I say, that's what we're going to paint. I mean, after this, if I can get this bit right, then obviously the masking comes out apart from the window mask, and it's just a case of blowing it over in white then and backing the red in white at the same time, and then full main coat of silver and it's done. But I think we're going to have some serious masking issues with this. I know I am. I don't know if I said this earlier, but and this is not an afterthought, it's not an excuse in case this doesn't work. What I'm planning to do is the separation between the red and the white, I want to put some black stripes along it. That was always a plan, because now, first of all, the kind of official colour scheme I'm doing doesn't have that, it's just the colours. But I don't know, I've got a sneaky feeling it might look pretty good when it's separated. But again, it's something we can fit, and if we don't like the look of it, we can whip it off. Anyway, let's get some paint on it. Right, that's the red paint on, and now obviously we just got to let this harden for a long time, to be fair, because I don't want to take any masking off and lift any lines. It's quite warm today, so fingers crossed. It's probably, if I give it an hour, that's probably enough. But yeah, I mean, that's all you can do, isn't it? What I did forget to mention earlier was obviously the wings have to be sprayed as well. So that's the lower wing, which just bolts down to the back end. Pretty straightforward. And I've masked the full wing on here, and we've just sprayed the edges, because the main, so obviously red ends, it's going to be a white main wing, and then the two stanchions are going to be black. That's the plan anyway. So again, we'll let this harden. Probably will have issues with these being slightly the wrong colour compared to the body shell. Even if you use TS paints, that can still be an issue. In fact, it's been on our Facebook group a lot recently. Guys have gone and bought an extra can of TS to do their ABS parts, and they're nowhere near. So I'm not expecting a great colour match on this, to be honest. And it's going to get worse as well, because the main shell is going to be back to a white then silver, so it is going to go a slightly different colour to these. But again, it's a suck it and see, and we'll just wait and see. So I'll come back in an hour and we'll have a look. Right, that's the masking off, and the lines are actually not too bad, I have to say. That's a good one. The front's really good, actually. Bear in mind, don't worry about little bits by the lights, because that's going to disappear. That line's got a little bit on that edge. Back line, a little bit there, just where the masking's gone, but that overall line is not too bad at all. And then that side, that's probably the worst of it, that little bit there. But again, as I say, I am really planning on doing black lines to separate the colours, and yeah, again, we can always take it off if it doesn't work, but I just think it's going to look great, and that red going into the black looks pretty cool, into the splitter or whatever you call it. Looks reasonably good. So yeah, I've just got to clean the rest of it, go over those maskings again, make sure they're all down, and then I'll just blow over. I'll give it like, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe 4 coats like I did with the red, just on those areas, and then once I've got it dry, then I'll just blow the red over to try sort of balance it up, and then obviously let that harden, and then we'll get the silver on. Yeah, that's not too bad. The wing colours that I was talking about, because it's just about dry, don't look, oh, it looks worse on camera actually, looking at that. Yeah, it's not too bad at all, but it does look worse on camera for some reason. Anyway, we won't know properly until we've got that mounted. Right, so I'll clean this, as I say, with some alcohol wipes, and then we'll get the white on, and then I'll come back. Right, that's the white on, and to be honest, I've got to be happy with that. I really have. That line there, both lines, cock on. That one is. As I showed you earlier, that's got a little bit of an issue, but nothing that won't be covered. All that line around there is pretty cool. Again, there and there, cool. Now, one problem I do have, made an error, thought that was on the outside of the shell, and I've just peeled it back and it's on the inside. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of work on that, but to be honest, if that's all I've got to do, that ain't bad at all. Don't look too bad from the front either. I thought that was going to be a terrible angle, but obviously we've got a lot of detail to go on. But I think my initial thoughts are, it's great. That black's come up a treat as well. So yeah, I've got to be happy with that. So next up is to dig PS12 out. In fact, while I've got the white out, I need to take the masking off of this wing, remask the ends, mask the stanchions, because I say they're going to be black. No, I'll tell you what I'll do black first. I'll just cut them while it's all masked, then paint them black, and then when I've done that, I only have to mask the stanchions up, and I can get rid of all this to paint it white. So we'll do that black next. Getting ahead of myself now, I need to think what I'm doing. That wing definitely needs doing. We'll fix that red on the other side, and then we'll put the PS12 on. Right, we're getting there now with the paint inside of it. So that's fully backed in PS12 now. If I just bring this down, you can see hopefully I've just done the black stanchions. So when that dries, the next stage is to take all the masking off, and then I just need to figure out if I'm going to spray the wing white or not, or leave it the colour it is. I may well leave it, but I don't want it really bright wing. But we'll see what it looks like when the masking's off. But I'll just give you a quick preview of this. It's come alive now. Looks, I think it's definitely brighter in real life than it looks to be on camera. But you get the gist of it now of what it's going to be, obviously. Yeah, maybe. Don't know where it's going to go yet. A lot have them down here that I've seen, but I kind of want it in the middle. But again, we'll worry about all that later. And then the smaller Marlboro goes across. Looking forward to seeing how this one's going to turn out. I mean, there's a long way to go yet, but yeah, I'm very curious. So the next step is we're going to let it harden. Then we'll take the window masks out, and then we'll take the protective film off. And then I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a start on the decals. Now, I'll just do the car decals to start with. So what I mean by that is I'll get all the windscreen decals on, I'll get the grille on, I'll get the lights on, any extra grills, but no like sponsor details or any logos or anything like that. We'll just get the car sort of done. And then what I am probably going to do, I'm going to do the separation lines in that black tape, as I've been batting on about, because I personally think it's going to look better like that. But again, we won't know until we try. But yeah, I think I'd like to get those lines on first and make sure I'm happy with them, and then perhaps decals will go over those lines. There's no way of telling at the moment, but yeah, we're getting there now. Right guys, that's the obviously window masks out and the protective film off. Had to make a repair here because I'd covered this with masking tape, and when I lifted the whole thing off with protection, there was a big red mark here. Stupid. Anyway, so I've had to rub it off with on the inside, to go through 3 layers of paint, make that repair. I also did that on the other side down here somewhere. If you look closely you can see it, but I'm not going to point it out because at a glance you can't see it, same as the top bit. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's trying to determine if it's popping or not, the red. It seems okay. It's one of them, isn't it? You're not going to know until it's finished. So as I say, what I'm doing now is I'm just taking my time and cutting the window decals out. My plan is now I'm going to get all the window decals on, the grille, the lights, anything that's near the line, and then when I've got those decals on, I'm going to put these lines on next, and then we'll start sprucing it up and making it look like a Marlboro racing car. And that's the first decal on. I always like to show you the first decal because it's kind of when the car starts to take shape. It's gone on really well, lined up perfectly, because I wasn't overly happy with the window masks, to be honest. But the decals do give you scope for a little bit of error. Right, so now we have one proper decal, window decal, and then these areas are just filled in with bold decals. So let's get those on. Right, that's the window decals in now. So obviously you've seen the front, that's the side, it's a very simple rear, and the other side. So they went on really well actually. They're never my favourites, but yeah, they went on really well. So what I'll just do, I'll continue on the front end, we'll cut the lights out and the grille, things like that. What have we got, because where these lines are, so we've got this big grille, main grille, lights to put on. There might be some other little lights here, I'll have to have a look. And then that's the front, and then I can put the black lines down. I'll show you what I mean by that. That's what I want it to look like, if that makes sense. I think that looks so much better, but again we'll see. So that's all we need on that one. That one, now the windows on, can be done, and same with the back one. So yeah, we're only waiting just to get those front decals on, so let's get cracking. Right, that's the front end decals on. Minimal, obviously. There's more sponsorship decals to go on, but I just wanted to get the basics done first, where the stripes are, because obviously, as I said, I want to do this in black. So I'm going to drop a line down here to the light, a little line here, stop there. These lights are going to become black, these little indents, and then down to the front splitter. This one obviously dead easy, and then there's a bit of a longer one to bring down, which I'll have to do in 2 pieces. But yeah, that's the plan. And then what I want to do is, once all the lines are on, then we'll fit the spoiler, well, both wings, put the mirrors on, and we'll just start to get a feel for it, whether it's going to work with the lines on or not, because that's the stage then to probably take them back off if I don't like it, if that makes sense. But yeah, starting to take shape now. Right, let's crack on. Right guys, so I'm really divided on this one. I really am. I like it and it's really crisp looking, but is it a little bit too different, if that makes sense? It looks good, it really does, but and there's a shed load of decals to go on it yet, but it's just whether I keep these black lines on or off. But it really does look sharp. Looks great from back as well, if you see it like that. So yeah, I'm very undecided now whether to carry on. So obviously we've got, there'll be a smaller Marlboro at the front, and I think the side one, so it's not going there, I think it's going to go around about there, and obviously a big one on the wing and loads of other decals. What do you think? Or do I just position the decals not actually touching any of that black line, so I could always whip it off at a later date and finish the car first to how I think it should be? That's probably the best way, isn't it? Right, let's get some more decals on. Just thought I'd show you mirrors on quickly, because that does make a hell of a difference. Really breaks it up. Looks cool actually. Yeah, I like it. I like it. You can tell I'm pondering what to do, can't you? Because I'm stalling for the next bit. I think what we'll do next, there's some vents here and then there's a big vents on the back. I think we'll get those on. And then we'll get all the back end decals on as well. Right, that's the back end decals on. Minimal obviously, but just 2 lights and this exhaust unit. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the Marlboro decals on. Figure out how they're going to go. So obviously we're going to have a small one on the front, 2 of the larger ones on the side, and then on the wing's going to have a large one, and it's also going to have a very small one on the side of the wing. I think I need to get those on, if that makes sense, to figure out. Well, I think I need those on because then I've got a load of the actual Mercedes, sponsorship decals to go on. So I don't have to put them all on, but I think the Marlboro needs to go on first. Then I can kind of fill the gaps, if that makes sense. Yeah, let's get them on. Right, so that's the basic of the Marlboro decals on. So nothing staggering really that you haven't seen before. One in the middle, big one on the side. Obviously it goes the other way on the other side, but I've matched it up. It looks pretty cool. Then the wing so far, we've got the Marlboro in the middle and we've got the little Marlboros on the side as well. So obviously that wing needs something either side. But I think what I'll just start doing now, I'll just start, because this is what we've got left. Obviously I'm not going to use them all, but there's loads of cool sponsorship decals. And obviously it wants Bridgestone all over it because the tyre decals, Potenza and Bridgestone, they're going to look awesome. God, I forgot, we've still got all the wheels to sort out yet, which ones we're going to use. Oh, and we want to put a number on it as well, somewhere. Maybe down here, maybe there. Now that's the kit one, but I don't think I'll use that because unfortunately it's got the indicator in the middle, which was supposed to go there on the kit one. So I might dig through my decals and see what I've got. Maybe just something with a black number 8 or something, I don't know. We'll have something kicking around. Also, I was looking at maybe, the Shell logo, the yellow actual Shell logo. I think if I've got 2 of them, which I might have, I think one either side of that wing might look good as well. And then we've got some detail to put up here, drivers' names, things like that. We've got some 2 sponsorship decals to go at the front. We've got some to go down here and we've got some to go at the back. So there's still a lot of little decals to do, but as I say, I'll just sort of do them step by step now. What do I think so far? I'm not too sure. You wouldn't kick it out of bed, would you? Let's be honest. It's nice, but I'm just not sure about those black lines. But the more I look at it, they are growing on me, I have to be honest. Anyway, right, let's less babble, let's put a few more decals on. Right, bit more movement on it. So, what have we done? Put a couple of sponsorship decals down here. We've put the drivers' names along there. I don't better see that, but they look pretty cool. Front end's got a load more detail on it now. That looks mighty fine. Number 1 on the side. So, as I say, I've gone for number 1. I put the Shell decals on the wing, which I think look pretty good. Don't know if I showed you the rear. I think I did. I'm not going to do too much with that just yet. So that's how it's looking right now. Looks good, doesn't it? I think the black lines are working, to be honest. So what I need to do now, I want to find something for here. It needs something black there, and I've got some red tiny BBS sponsorship decals, or I might dig through. I've got a tub of decals here, which is absolutely chocker of leftovers. I might just see if I can get something that'll go down here. I think something across the roof there, and maybe just something here, and it won't be far off, I don't think. liking it. I'm liking it. Right, let's bat on. Right, so a couple more decals added. Put that silver number 1 up on the vent, progress, racing fuel. One at forward. I think the yellow breaks it up a little bit. I think it looks quite nice. Yeah, I know I've not cut the body post yet. Don't worry about that because I've got to get the stance right, which it's not. But you get the gist of it. How it's looking. Doesn't look bad. So what I'm going to do now is I need a break from this because there is more decals to fit possibly, but I think I'm going to have a play with the wheels. So I've dug those Porsche 911 wheels out that I had. Now I thought they were the same as them, but they're different. But I kind of think black wheels will do it. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check the offsets on this. I'll whiz these wheels and take the tyres off, stick them on here, and we'll stick the black ones on, see what that looks like. Obviously we've got really cool tyre decals to put on it, but that's kind of the last job. That'll really break it up. And if I'm not, because I'm not impressed with them, seriously not impressed with them, as I say, we'll have a look at them, and we'll also take the 2-piece wheels off the 911. They're white, but they've got the chrome outers. I just want to try them as well, and I don't know because of these offsets if they're going to fit, because this one has a different offset on the back. Anyway, let's have a little play with wheels and have a little break from bodywork. Right, that's it pretty much done. I didn't want to bore you with all the wheel changes. Obviously you can see it's got the kit wheels on, so suffice to say my wheel changes didn't work. I put the black ones on and the offsets were wrong anyway, but I could have bodged that, but it looks so plain in black with black wheels, which really surprised me. And then I thought I'd play my trump card, which was the 2-piece white and chrome wheels off the GT2 Porsche, and I put those on and they looked so plasticky and cheap, it blew me away. I didn't expect that, to be honest. So I was going to paint these wheels black, but I just looked at it for a couple of hours and I was like, no, that kind of works. So I put the tyre decals on, which obviously really makes those wheels pop. So I'm going to stick with that for now, and it's one of those where over time now I'll look at the car and I may add bits to it, and it might be a different set of wheels at some point. So the only add-ons I've done, obviously I've cut the body post down now, which make it look way better. The little plastic Mercedes badges on the front, and I think that's it really. It's really growing on me, I have to say. Let's show you different angles of it. So for me, that's its best angle, low down to the side. I just think that thing looks absolutely superb. What do you guys think? I even think the stance is pretty much perfect. I have noticed I've got to trim the sides, not trim, but sand the sides down a little bit. But that thing is absolutely stunning. So I think as back ends go, that ain't a bad one, is it? I have left a few sponsorship decals off the back, which I'm not overly bothered about putting on, if I'm honest. But yeah, that's another great angle. And then boom, front view. That looks pretty epic, doesn't it? The stripes don't look as good, they look a bit lumpy because of the angles of the body. But nevertheless, that is a superb angle. So I thought I'd dig the 911 959 tribute out just to put up the side of it, just to get a bit of perspective. Wow, they look quite a team together. Very, very sort of 90s, sort of late 90s, with the old sort of liveries. Two actual cars that obviously didn't have these liveries, or the GT1 did have Rothmans, but obviously not the 959 decals I've fitted. But how good do they look? So, which one do you have, guys? If you could only have one of those, which one would you have? Which one would you want to jump in and race? I still think the Porsche is possibly the nicer one of the two. But as I say, nevertheless, they are so good to look at. Look at that. I'm yeah, very, very happy with this car, or both cars, but that latest one's looking good. So what do you think, guys? Are you a fan of this? I've got to be honest, as usual, my mind does weird things when I'm building cars. And initially, I was like, not sure, but once I got more sort of decals on it, the stripes, the black lines are a must for me now. That's just my personal opinion. And I also like the wheels. I will keep my eyes out for a different set of wheels, but I've no idea what I'm after. Because colour's very important on this. When I googled the Marlboro sort of livery, the majority of cars I found just had jet black wheels. But as I say, when I put them on this, it just didn't work. It made it very dull, and I'm super amazed, shocked that those chrome two-piece wheels look so cheap and tacky on it. Didn't expect that. So yeah, I think I'm calling that a success. That was very enjoyable. Another project that takes a while, but you know, you figure out the body shell you want, and then you start playing with different ideas of liveries and try to do something that's not been done before. This may have been done before on the CLK GTR. I've just never there's no pictures of any done, apart from a 1/18 scale die-cast model. That's the only picture I found with this particular car. So yeah, very, very happy with that. So guys, thanks so much for watching, it's really appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us. If you do that, smash that notification bell for our weekly videos. And as always guys, happy RCing.